Are going to we're going to take a look at Kahoot. Now, Kahoot was something that when I was in school uh, was very, very popular. Um, Honestly, I had to take anatomy senior year, and Kahoot is probably the reason that I passed that class. Um, if there's ever like questions or things that are really repetitive, or you just kind of have to bear down and memorize the stuff. Kahoot is an awesome resource for that. Uh, so once you make an account, this is kind of your dashboard. You can upgrade to plans. Some of the to like 100 players. I can't imagine under what circumstance you might have 100 players, or let alone 2,000 players. Who knows? That is where you got the whole school, and district joining you. I guess I don't know. So that is kind of the rundown of like different options that you have. But basically, Kahoot is a system of quick quizzes, and you get. Well, I guess we'll click play a demo game. So we will get to enter in so the child will enter in the passcode, and a bunch of them will pop up here as it's showing, and it'll play this annoying tune. Hang on, there we go. So the first thing about a classroom that I have that I remember, everyone first of all loves the sound of this do 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 do. It's the Kahoot soundtrack. I specifically remember it, and every time I hear it, I would know exactly what it is without anyone telling me. Now, the one thing about this this program here, I don't know what it wants me to do. Enter in the game. Oh, it wants me to enter it in. Okay, but the one thing that I think is definitely important for some situations is to is to cover up the music with something. And this was a suggestion from the website provided on the tools list. And with this suggestion, I think it's not a bad idea. Sometimes the Kahoot music gets a little intense. So this is a competitive game, and so essentially, questions pop up. Teacher can create them. The question shows up for a small period of time, and then boop, you have to click and answer. And you get points depending on. Oh, I have to click it over here. You get points depending on how quickly you click it, right? And so and they're obviously they're notified of whether they got it right or wrong. Now, I never really understood the exact point system involved in this. It's the biggest cave in the world. It has its own. Let's say all of the above. Seems like it might be. So essentially, children will get a specific number of points depending on how quickly they answered the question, as well as whether they got it right. Now, this doesn't really allow for much differentiation or anything. This is strictly more of a review process. That's why, when I first thought of this, what really came to mind was the anatomy that I had to take, because that is just a lot of memorization of different parts of the body and the holes and grooves along bones, and you just have to know the name of all of them. And so the teacher could so we'll exit here. So you can create a Kahoot, and you can create a new one or one from different things. You can drag and drop an image, or you can add a question in here, right? So you can say, let's have a true or false one, right? So then it just pulls up a true answer or a false answer, and that's what'll show up on their phones. I honestly, depending on the type of class, in a literature class, you probably wouldn't really run into too many Kahoots. But in something with more raw memorization, something like science, social studies, especially like history, or even sometimes math. Uh, this Kahoot program is probably very effective, and in my opinion is, and I hope to use it. So that's kind of just a quick overview of Kahoot.